Okay, she is done. The money is gone. Erika Kirk has not stepped down yet from Turning Point USA, but as they say, you don't necessarily wait for the ship to hit the seafloor to notice the bubbles. The seats are empty. The youth movement, the videos that they're posting of this vibrant youth movement, it's lacking a lot of youth and it's lacking movement. The allies that they once had have ghosted, and we found a paper trail that Turning Point USA's PR team is not going to be able to scrub. And right now, if you've been with us for a minute, you know the signs are everywhere, especially if you know where to look. The event seats are not filling. The campus chapters are falling to shit. They're disbanding. People are leaving in a blaze of glory. And Erika Kirk is canceling cameos. And is there anything this woman loves more in this life than a camera and a mic? I don't know. But the people who were once very loudly in her corner just a few months ago are suddenly very hard to find. It's like you can only defend so much. And there's a paper trail that explains all of this in a way that whatever statement that they're inevitably going to put out will absolutely not. So today, we're not waiting on the announcement, because once I show you what has happened and what has happened with their wedding and who's already moved on, there is one thing that will stick with you and it's going to make complete sense. So bear with me.
It seems to me that nothing will ever be enough for the evil in this world. Our country has become unrecognizable.
And real quick, if you're new here, I'm Lauren Paritra. I'm going to ask you to please take a moment to make sure you're subscribed, or you may risk 10 years of Stephen Miller nesting in your crawl space. The choice is yours. We are blazing ahead of Katie Miller and the Katie Miller Pod, the human shield who married that man on purpose. And we're trying to hit 100,000 subs, and we cannot do it without you. So consider every sub, every hype, every follow across wherever you get your podcasts. Consider every comment, 6 words or more, every action. Consider every action a safety net protecting you from that. Okay, now let's start with the money, shall we? Because it always starts with the buck, doesn't it? Turning Point USA raised nearly $400 million under Charlie Kirk. In 2024 alone, they pulled in $85 million in revenue. 99% of that came from charitable contributions. So on paper, this is a well-funded conservative machine. And when Charlie was in September 2025, his widow Erika was selected to step in as the CEO just 8 days later. 8 days to finding and appointing a new CEO. Wow, it's like they must have conducted an exhaustive global search and just so happened to find the most qualified candidate in a shocking twist of fate sitting in the living room of the dead previous guy. What are the odds? Nobody asked, hey, is Erika actually qualified to run an $85 million organization with 450 employees? They appointed the widow like it was a family-owned corner store and then expected, okay, the mission's going to continue, they said. Except, let's talk about what Erika actually inherited. Because before we get to where the money is going, we need to talk about where it already was going. 4 years under Charlie. So Charlie Kirk's official salary from Turning Point USA, according to these records, was approximately $390,000 a year. Not obscene given the amount of money that they were bringing in, except that on this salary, Kirk somehow accumulated a real estate portfolio worth over $10 million. Including a $4.75 million mansion in Scottsdale Silverleaf Club, where the golf membership alone runs $500,000. And also, they had a $855,000 waterfront condo on Lake Michigan.
When we first moved into that, we live in a small condo.
And a $1 million beachside property on Florida's Gulf Coast. An Arizona apartment for, quote, extra storage space, and an urban farm in Mesa. I would love to see a budget spreadsheet where a $250,000 take-home salary covers a $365,000 mortgage. Girl math, am I right? So then there's the wedding. The bride of Charlie. When Charlie married Erika in May 2021, Turning Point USA paid for the reception at the Fairmont Scottsdale Princess Hotel. The official explanation was that it was also serving as Turning Point USA's 9th anniversary celebration. If my man ever was like, you know what, let's just celebrate our business anniversary with a wedding, I would say kick some rocks. A tax exempt nonprofit paid for their CEO's wedding and called it a company event. Guys, what? Okay, so it gets worse. Real quick, today's episode is brought to you by Cozy Earth. So while all this is unfolding, some of us like normal people are just trying to figure out how to show some love to the moms in our lives right before Mother's Day sneak attacks us. And we're talking about dog moms, people moms, mom figures, all of it. I see you. I got one of the Cozy Earth robes myself, and I have to tell you, it is the softest thing I own. I love the slippers. People always ask me, Lauren, how do you stay so calm covering stories like the one that just came out of your mouth? And honestly, it's the robe. It's the slippers. I put it on, I exhale, and somehow all this Turning Point USA chaos feels a little less jarring. And they're backed by a 100-night trial and 10-year warranty, so it's completely risk-free. So let this Mother's Day be a reminder that all the mom figures, dog moms, people moms in your life deserve care too. Head over to cozyearth.com and use my code Lauren, that's LOREN, for an exclusive 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, be sure to mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here on LPTV. This is where it starts getting not so favorable for Erika Kirk, because what Forbes found buried in Turning Point USA's IRS filings is that they never publicly reported this. The single largest directly traceable donor to Turning Point USA was not a household name. It was a private Texas foundation called the Wayne Dudelson Foundation, and they gave $13.1 million, the biggest disclosed donor in the entire record, just hidden in plain sight in the tax documents. So who is Wayne Dudelson? He was a Houston real estate pioneer. He was a University of Houston graduate, and he led the investor group that brought the San Diego Rockettes and moved them to Houston in 1971. He died in 2010, and his widow, Karen, has run the foundation ever since. Starting to sound a little familiar. For years, it was one of Turning Point USA's most generous and most invisible supporters. They even named a travel stipend program that sent young Texas conservatives to AmFest, Kirkchella, as I call it, every single year. The foundation was deeply embedded in Turning Point USA. And now, here's the part that should make you stop. Wayne Dudelson Foundation is closing. They are shuttering December 31st, 2026. The single largest disclosed donor in the IRS record is going kaput. So is Turning Point USA now collapsing? This is all happening while everything else is falling apart. Every chapter and every campus that claimed Turning Point USA was supposed to represent student voices was being bankrolled by donors who hadn't set foot on that college campus in decades. They staged campus confrontations. The pyrotechnics can't be cheap. We've seen a whole lot of that, all funded by people that understood that getting into this space and reaching young people earlier is the cheapest way to protect their generational wealth. $400 million over a decade. From their perspective, it was a bargain. So all of this is going down. Erika's people are trying to come to her defense saying, it's all a lie, it's all a lie.
My reaction is just that a shock and horror that people are alleging that Erika's reaction was somehow performative. Up yours. Up yours.
Screw those people. That's disgusting.
Why are you spending so much time and energy on it? Why are you shutting it down so fast? It feels kind of like this is going to ruin the tour. She's not stepping down. Mark my words. Whether she steps down today, tomorrow, a month from now, doesn't really matter. There's not going to be a lot left for her to step down from. And who knew the money was going to walk out the door before her and before the rest of them did? Somebody always knows first. And this is what happens perhaps when you hand an $85 million organization to a 36-year-old with no organizational experience. And on that, remember, you don't want Stephen Miller nesting in your crawl space. So hit that subscribe button, hit that notifications bell, turn your notifications on, help us reach 100,000 subs. I'll let you dictate what we do that episode. We're here for you. Let's get this done. Will is not feeling well today. We're going to the vet now. So back with more.